1 year after the firebombing at the governor's residence, Governor Shapiro and the First Lady host an interfaith event. And across Pennsylvania, fire companies are feeling the pinch thanks to private equity buying up truck makers. This and more in the Week in Focus for the Pennsylvania Capital Star. First up, tables were set for a Passover Seder as Governor Josh Shapiro and the First Lady hosted interfaith leaders at the governor's residence, 1 year after a firebombing nearly destroyed the space. The conversation focused on the rise in political and religious violence. Last year, a man firebombed the residence while the Shapiro family slept inside and said he planned to kill the governor. He's now serving 25 to 50 years. In the newly restored room, Shapiro acknowledged the lasting impact on his family, crediting support from interfaith leaders across Pennsylvania with helping them heal. Hate crimes are rising across the country, with experts saying anti-Semitism and Islamophobia are also growing in online spaces. The interfaith leaders stress that this is a time for bridge building, with Shapiro noting how President Donald Trump has continued to stoke the flames of division. Next up, an industry once made up of 24 manufacturers is now shrinking under private equity consolidation. Fire officials in Pennsylvania say prices are outpacing inflation and long delays are slowing efforts to replace aging trucks. It's hurt us. It's hurt every fire company in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, said Jim Capuzzi, the president of the Volunteer Broomall Fire Company in Delaware County. Democratic State Representative Jennifer O'Mara is now pushing legislation that cracks down on private equity, with new antitrust oversight and penalties. She warns that we've already seen the negative consequences of private equity in healthcare and doesn't want to see it spread into other industries. Consolidation in the firefighting industries is forcing departments to spend more on gear and less on personnel, creating public safety risks. Kevin Ressler, the board secretary of the Pennsylvania Professional Firefighters Association, added, "We should care more about protecting communities than enriching billion-dollar companies." Want to support Pennsylvania Capital Star? Sign up for our newsletter, share this post, or become a donor to back independent journalism in the Commonwealth. And finally, with $4.5 billion at stake, Pennsylvania businesses are fighting for tariff refunds. We Pay the Tariffs, a coalition of over 1,100 small businesses in Pennsylvania, says companies here have paid $4.5 billion in illegal tariffs nearly a year after their announcement on Liberation Day. Now, Trump claimed he had the authority to impose the tariffs under International Emergency Economic Powers Act, but the Supreme Court disagreed. Refunds are now a top priority for We Pay the Tariffs, whose executive director Dan Anthony calls the money taken illegally in the first place. Governor Shapiro and 23 other state leaders are suing over Section 122 tariffs, calling them unconstitutional. The fees are capped at 150 days. I'm Natalie Bencavanga, and this was your Week in Focus.